Morning guys, day 2 of home isolation. We're all working from home, the kids are home, the dog's home, and in just a minute we're going to go inside the ad account which we spoke about, which had the return on ad spend of over 60. That was actually last weekend. Initially when that client came to us, we kind of, the first instinct was people aren't going to keep buying luxury items, so we're thinking about turning the ad account off or turning down media spend. But then we thought we came up with a new strategy and thought the gyms would be closing in a few weeks. So we came up with a new strategy, a new funnel, and we created all the ads around creating a home gym package where they're going to keep their immune system strong and they can keep doing their workouts. And that was a result of getting a very successful campaign over that weekend. Now, we're talking to a lot of different clients doing the same thing. We have a client that does online yoga teacher training. We're trying to move that into a course. We have a client that does home pest control. We're trying to do like home sanitation, home and office sanitization, so we can create a squeeze page around that. We have an outdoor tactical brand that we're trying to create a home survival kit. We have a hamper pack where we can deliver kind of luxury hamper items for people that are in isolation that might want a little bit of luxury, whether it's a bottle of wine or some chocolates. So there's lots of different ways we can adapt to the situation, especially in e-commerce, and we're going to go jump into the account and have a look inside that particular account. And if you have any questions or want to jump on a strategy call with us, please just book that in, and I'll see you inside the ad account. Let's jump straight into this account and have a look. Please excuse me if you can hear kind of kids or dogs and stuff in the background, but I'm set up in the home office now. And we're just going to run through this first example. I'm going to go through a few different ones, and I'm also going to jump into another client and a little bit of AdWords. But this particular one we're talking about, if we look over here, we've just changed the time period to lifetime. This client, we started from scratch. It's a brand new business, brand new brand 6 months ago. And the overall ROS in the last 6 months has been 14.5 return on ad spend. So we've approximately spent about 40,000. We've made over $500,000 in sales just through these Facebook ads that we've been running. $2.2 million worth of add to cart value. The conversion rate at the store at the moment is a little bit low. So if we can double the conversion rate of the store, these numbers are going to get even better. So if we flick back to the time period we're talking about, which was kind of Friday to Monday last week over the weekend. So if we go from like Friday to Monday, if we actually look at, so initially when we're looking at the different figures based on attribution window, we're looking at return ad spend of 60. But since those couple of days and the data coming through from the pixel, it's actually jumped up to return ad spend of 90. So we spent $2,000 over that weekend. We tried to spend a lot more, but because the ads were running so well, we physically couldn't spend any more than that. And the return on ad spend was 92. So if we look at, the highest performing ones, which we're looking at the middle of funnel, we're targeting people that have engaged in Instagram in the last 6 months, liked, shared, commented on Facebook, all of that kind of middle of funnel. And we're using the same post idea across all of them. So we're getting massive social proof. People are tagging each other, referring to friends. The more social proof that we had on that post, the better all of these ads are running. And we really focused on that one picture of the home gym equipment. Some really interesting things that happened here. And when we can go in and kind of just look at the, sorry, just staying on that. So that was the middle of funnel. We had a top of funnel based on lookalike audience and interest types. And then we had our DPA, bottom of funnel, dynamic product ads coming through, which, still performing exceptionally well. We were targeting, we did 2 campaign budget objective based on interest. So we had this home gym one and then home gym packs one. So if we look at all of these ads over that period, and then we kind of look at the return on ad spend, we can see some of the ads that had 6 purchases on this one ad had a return on ad spend of 300. So we spent, the cost per sale was like $5, and the conversion value was like $8,000. So what was the spend? So we spent $30 to make $8,000. So it's pretty exceptional. It's just unique times like this where we're niching into a particular topic at the right time. And I think as this progresses, the environment around the world, the potential to sell online, all of the advertising, media buying, so many people are jumping off the platform and freaking out. But there's so many people at home jumping on the platform. There's probably a 20-30% increase in Google searches, Facebook and Instagram scrolling. So there's just a massive opportunity. There's no point kind of running for the hills. I'm writing a blog post at the moment that define kind of each characteristic of an entrepreneur, which we're going to share in the next couple of days. So let's keep going through this account because I've got some really interesting things that changing in the current environment. And one of the biggest things are we're seeing things like when we're targeting certain interest types in Facebook and combining them, typically in the past, if we were going to target online shoppers like an interest type based on online engaged shoppers, online shopping, those types of interest groups have really never worked for any clients in the past. So we just thought we'd just try it one more time. And you can see by using the interest type online shopping or engage online shoppers, those types of things, for some reason, as you can see here, this particular interest type had a return on ad spend of almost 150. And it's just a typical example of the times. We were split testing between 5%, 5 to 7% lookalike based on purchases in the last 180 days. We were testing 1%, 3 to 5%. So we're testing all the different types of lookalike audiences and we're combining those with like interest types. And the same goes for this separate campaign budget objective. All the ad sets we're using campaign budget objective because eventually Facebook will roll that out. I'm not sure when. So this one again, Olympic weightlifting had 120. I mean, they're all just running exceptionally well. So this was a completely different budget. If you want to horizontally scale, you have to use multiple campaigns now with multiple campaign objectives. And I probably, in the Australian market, because of the size of the audience and the population, I wouldn't have more than, say, 4 or 5 ad sets per campaign. So that's some really interesting things that we're seeing. And instead of going out and split testing a whole bunch of creators at the moment, I would be a lot more niche on the current market and try and get social proof. Because people are going to start sharing, liking, commenting, and be kind of more community-based when they're looking at this type of advertising. If you guys are interested in getting into more training and going into more detail, or if you want us to do a free audit on your ad account, please let us know. And yeah, we'd be happy to have a chat to you about that. Again, the AdWords campaign you can see peaked over here. In the last 30 days in this account, we've had total $152,000 worth of Google shopping revenue in the last 30 days. And you can see that peaked over the last weekend as well. And on some other clients, you can see in this outdoor tactical one I referred to at the top of our house there, in the last 14 days, we're still seeing an average return on ad spend of 6, which is still really good. Our bottom of funnel remarketing, we don't have as big a budget for this, but we're trying to work on increasing the budget because we can really maintain the ROS through this period. So the typical DPA bottom of funnel campaign is still running ROS 16, and we're running the top of funnel stuff, you know, which is kind of industry standard above 2, which is always really nice. And our middle funnel, this is kind of textbook. So middle of funnel, as you can see here, is sitting at 6. Our bottom of funnel 16, our top of funnel kind of 2. So you know, that's kind of textbook across all of our e-commerce clients. That's how it works, and you look through all funnels. Okay, I didn't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to give a quick insights of how successful, if you think about things in different ways, like we spoke about up the top there before, moving your existing services online or thinking of new ways to put an online course together. get the knowledge out of your head and put it online. If we can help in any way, come up with a strategy or ideas, or if you want to throw some ideas around, just let us know.